Hello, Penny speaking.
Hi Penny, how are you? It's Neil.
How are you, Neil?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for
That's good.
getting in touch and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Cheers. Whereabouts are you based, Penny?
I'm in Broken Hill.
Oh, so you live out there?
Yeah,
Excellent, excellent. How long have you been out there?
I've only been out here 2 years.
Okay, yep.
So at the time, when I saw this thing, I was going back and forth a fair bit because I was moving gear back and everything, So I've been travelling that road quite a bit.
Yeah, okay. What time of night was it? It was pretty late at night, you said, I think.
Yeah, about 2 a.m.
Okay, cool. And you were heading to Broken Hill or back to Wilcannia?
No, to Broken Hill.
Were you
It's
between...
about 15 kilometres.
Beg your pardon?
About 15 kilometres out of Wilcannia.
Oh, just out of Wilcannia, so it was before Little Topar.
Yeah.
Cool. Now that's the Darling River near Wilcannia, isn't it?
Yes.
Excellent. How far to Menindee Lakes from there? Menindee Lakes.
Oh, probably 100 and something k's.
Okay. Not too... It's south from there, isn't it, to Menindee Lakes? Because the river feeds into
Yes.
it.
Yes.
How's the river looking at the moment?
Yes.
Bit healthier?
Oh, it's a bit green at the moment, the river, but the lakes are looking good. We're at the lakes on the weekend, actually, so...
Excellent. There's
No,
a lot of sightings around those lakes.
Sorry?
There's a lot of thylacine sightings around near those lakes and out near Lake Mungo.
Oh, really?
Dead set. Recent ones, within the last, 5-6 years.
Yeah, well, my daughter's an ecologist, and she said that there's paintings on caves near Wilcannia.
Of tigers?
Sorry?
Of thylacines?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see them. See if you can find out a bit more. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I like so. It's probably in the national park there or somewhere.
Yeah. So okay, tell me what happened anyway, Penny. It was 2 a.m. You were heading back to Broken Hill from Wilcannia, and you're just the other side of Wilcannia, yeah?
Yeah, I was heading back to Broken Hill, and I was just 15 kilometres the other side of Wilcannia.
Yep.
Broken Hill side, and I was travelling along, and I spotted this animal on the side of the road, and it had stripes along the back half of the back, and then stripy tail.
Right.
And I stopped and went, sort of went as slow as I could, and I was looking at this animal because I'd never seen one before. And it puzzled me, and I was, wow, gee, what is that? And it was very, it wasn't very big. It was about the size of a possum.
Okay, not real big.
No, not real big. And it was very cat-like, I suppose.
In its demeanour or its shape?
In its demeanour.
Okay.
The way it did things.
Such as?
Such as how it, its head, I suppose you could say, and how it moved was sort of, a bit cat-like.
So
but it wasn't a cat.
You pulled up and had the headlights on it. It was sitting there, so you got a good look at it.
Yeah, got a good look at it.
And how far away from it were you approximately?
Oh, I would have only been 12 foot away from it.
Okay, and it just sat there?
Yeah, it was just sort of like it was having a look at something on the road, had its head down, looking, smelling, and but once it moved off, that was it, I couldn't see it anymore.
So how long were you watching it for, roughly?
Oh, probably
Wow. Now, you've seen pictures of thylacines before. Did it have the same shaped head or was it different?
Well, that's exactly what my daughter went. She went straight to that as well. You know, she sent me photos of thylacine straight up,
Right.
and I said, I don't know if it was a thylacine, but it looked very much like a thylacine, but the head. But then you've seen different photos of thylacines, and the younger ones, their heads are a lot more petite.
Yep.
You know, until they get a bit bigger. I think we sort of worked out that maybe it was a quoll, but
They don't have stripes. They only have spots. Quolls only have spots, not stripes.
Yeah. And this was the sticking point, you know. It had very defined stripes.
Have you heard of a thing called a marsupial lion?
No.
So it's the big cat equivalent of a thylacine, but it's a marsupial, and it climbs trees. And it's meant to have been extinct for so many thousands of years all over the place. But there are thousands of sightings of these things. And they've got a cat-like head, not as long a muzzle as what a dog or a thylacine has. And they're rather ferocious from all accounts. But that's the animal responsible for the original drop bear, mystery.
Right.
Things that lived in...
Have you got photos of that?
Oh, they're easy to find online. If you can use Google Images, you'll find it. Just type in Thylacoleo or marsupial lion and you'll find it. But I can send you a couple of shots if you want, but it's easy to find. It's very well known that these things are still out there, but of course scientists know everything and they swear it's been extinct for, 5,000-10,000 years or some rubbish. But black fellas still talk about them. So if the black fellas are still talking about them, that means they're out there. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting that it wasn't typically a thylacine, but it was the closest thing you could say. That's based on the striping, I suppose, more than anything.
Yeah. It was really weird though. Like it really struck me because, it was totally different to anything that I'd ever seen before.
Have you seen quolls?
I'm looking at...
See, quolls are about as big as a possum. Some quolls, when they're not quite fully grown, they're about as big as a brush-tailed possum. But in saying that, some of the brush-tailed possums I've seen are as big as Staffordshire Bull Terriers, just about. They're huge, Especially in Tassie, they have massive possums down here. But yeah, there's every chance it was marsupial, but not necessarily a thylacine.
Yeah, like I'm looking at these photos of this...
Thylacoleo.
Yeah, and it doesn't even really look like that even. And because I was tired and it was late at night and things like that, it really did pique my interest. And I thought, wow, what is that?
Yep.
I'd never seen... Like, I grew up in the Pilliga Scrub, so...
No, you know about weird things then.
Yeah.
See, I know all that country because my old man was a truckie back in the 70s and the 80s, and I used to travel with him as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
I've been right up through there dozens of times.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I know that country, not super well, but I've been through there many times, yeah? So I know all the towns and sort of the landscape along the highway there. What is it? Is it the Stewart Highway? What's the highway out there? The Stewart Highway?
No, the Newell.
Newell Highway. Okay, yep.
Newell Highway.
Yep.
They've just had a truck accident out there a few weeks ago, and there's still a fire burning, but it's burnt out 130,000 acres.
Oh, there'll be plenty of roast goat meat to eat. All the feral goats out there. There's millions of them, especially between Wilcannia and Cobar. It's shocking through there. There's hundreds of thousands of feral goats.
Yes, there is. There's a hell of a lot of them.
So,
but where I saw this animal was in one of the wildlife corridors.
Yeah, right along a watercourse, maybe.
Well, it was only 15 k's out,
so there's a bit of scrub there.
Back from, fairly open.
Yep.
But when you're travelling back from Wilcannia, from Cobar to Wilcannia,
yep.
You have very distinctive animal corridors.
Yeah, that they use.
Go along for a bit, and there'll be no wildlife on the road. No native wildlife on the road. But then you get to the wildlife corridors,
and that's where all the roadkill is.
It's very distinctive. You've got hundreds of animals that you've got to avoid.
Some big reds out there.
So, and that's yes. Actually hit one the other night coming home.
You got a bull bar?
And then further down the road I hit another one. 2 big bucks were having a fight on the side of the road. And, one went one way and one come towards me. So
you got a decent bull bar on your vehicle then, obviously.
No, well, I've only got a new vehicle, but I haven't got a bull bar on it, but it's a Ram, and it hit the side of the Ram and tumbled up along the side of it, and I got home, and then I hit another one a bit further up, so I thought, I've already got an insurance claim anyway.
Just throw it on the bill.
I got out of home, and there wasn't a dent in it, not a scratch, not a dent, nothing.
Last time I did the Hay Plain, actually, I was sitting behind a semi for a while, and I was right up his clacker just in case. And sure enough, he hit a big boomer, and he come flying past my passenger window upside down in the air, this kangaroo, and I thought, geez, I'm glad I was here. He missed my passenger side mirror by about 6 inches, I think. But at 100 kilometres an hour, you don't get much time to react, so...
No. And the bigger the vehicle, the harder it is to pull up to.
Yeah, that's true. So, all right. Yeah. So, did you notice anything else about it? Was there any other particular features or the way it moved that was weird or unique or different or anything?
Well, the whole thing about it was weird and different. Like I said, I've never seen one.
Of whatever it was.
Anything like it before.
But whatever
it was, I think it was only young.
Yeah, so it was more like a juvenile thylacine than one of those Thylacine looking things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't have the big buffy jaw.
Yep. The head was a bit narrower, was it?
Yeah.
Did it look straight at you?
No.
So you didn't see any eye shine?
No.
Okay.
No, it never. It was all from the side.
Yep. And what angle was it towards you? Was it sitting down? Was it standing up? Did it have its back to you?
It was squatting down.
Squatting, okay.
This is why I sort of couldn't... Yeah, I couldn't really... It was like I was squatting down on all fours.
Yep.
And that's why I really couldn't get a decent look at the leg length and stuff like that.
And then it just sort of scurried off.
And the tail was... the tail was a bit bushy.
Okay.
But it had stripes, but it was a bit... I think it was winter then.
Right. Was it curved or was it straight?
No, it was straight.
Okay. So do you remember what month it was?
I've been trying to look through my messages that I sent to my daughter to see when it was, but I haven't been able to get back that far yet, so...
No dramas. Well, if you think it was roughly winter, that gives us a rough idea of what time it was out there. I had another sighting reported the other side of West Wyalong in the ranges out there last year or the year before, a fresh sighting out there as well. And it's that same sort of country, that rocky outcrop studded with native pine and a bit of eucalypt here and there, a lot of mulga and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, that doesn't mean that there's not native predators out there. It just means that it's tough country to survive in, that's all.
Yeah, and really, I mean, the tougher the country, the better for them, I think.
Yeah, the tougher the predator, without a doubt.
Mm.
Awesome.
Yeah, 'cause,
Now,
I mean,
I put these interviews out on our YouTube channel for people to have a listen to. You got no problem with that?
no problem whatsoever.
Awesome. No worries. Have you mentioned it to anybody else and someone else has seen anything weird out there at all, or?
No, the only person I mentioned it to was, I may have said something to one other person, but they were just like, oh, no, I don't know. But the person that I really spoke to about it was my daughter, because of her being an ecologist.
Yeah.
And,
So, as an
she got
ecologist,
quite excited.
yeah, what was her reaction? Obviously, she was excited. She believes you, obviously.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't even think to grab my phone and take a photo.
No, not many people
And
ever do, and if they do, it's usually a really dodgy photo, and we don't get much further down the track. But in saying that, it doesn't take anything away from their credibility, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely saw something that was different.
Yep.
You know, I've seen a lot of animals, and yeah, there's definitely something different. I'd never seen anything like this before.
So the Darling River is south from that location, sort of parallel to the road pretty much, isn't it? As you're going along there. You're still not... You'd be about 5 or 6 k's from the river or something.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Wouldn't be that far. I'll have a look on the map and see what's happening there. But yeah, awesome. Is there any other details you can think of?
It didn't seem to be phased by the headlights.
It wasn't bothered by you, it just went about its business?
Yep.
That sounds pretty typical. They're not usually too phased about who's looking at them most of the time. Sometimes they don't even stop or look or anything. They just got their nose to the ground and keep moving.
Yeah, well, that's what this one was doing. It just had its nose to the ground, and it was, you know, maybe it had a scent and it was tracking the scent.
Yeah, it could be. Could be anything. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time today. And
that's all right. If I find when it was,
yeah, let me know.
I'll let you know. Yeah.
So, does your daughter work in the city, or is she out there in that country?
No, she's in Dubbo. So
she's in Dubbo.
She travels around.
Excellent.
Travels around all that area.
She hasn't had any other unusual things reported to her?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know. I have to ask her.
Yeah.
But the first thing she did is send me a photo
of a thylacine. Yep.
Yeah. And then she, you know, like she said, there's paintings in the caves out there.
Yep. That's usually a good sign.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if there's paintings in the caves...
Obviously, the blackfellas saw them out there, but, you know, the sadly, a lot of those links to country out there are broken, but you never know. People might still know things and they just keep quiet a lot of the time, and you don't blame them, really.
No, that's right. Yeah, you don't blame them.
Got to protect whatever they've got left. Awesome. All right. Well, look, you have a great day. And if you do hear anything else via your daughter or whatever, you've got my number. Just feel free to call.
Right, will do.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.